questions to keep myself aligned. Waste away the hours doing what I should, knowing that my soul tells me it's not for my own good. So the second day of enlightenment, if you are a member of my group, Ayse Hogan's Transformations for You, we did the first day of enlightenment, and I'm doing some here on my own timeline, and I'm doing some in there, but they will all be found in there. And today's second day of enlightenment is really the difference between believing something and knowing something to be true. So that's what we're going to talk about today, but I am going to wait for a few of you to jump on this morning. So I'm in this, I'm in Indiana right now. Good morning, Monica and Kathy. I'm in Indiana this morning. I just got up. I was up very late last night with some of my beautiful soul family here in Indiana. Lacey Garza, Melissa Hubbard, Brandon Dake, Pat Springer-Meyer. I was with Paige Boysaw and Bobby Dake, and it was such a great thing. Not only are they my friends, a few of them are my clients, but we also all work for HempWorks, work with HempWorks CBD. So it was the first time we ever met in person. We've always talked on Facebook Live, and we've built a relationship here on Facebook, but it was the very first time that we were all together in person. So it was amazing. And I have to thank Melissa Hubbard for the amazing food that she made yesterday. Wow. They put on a spread, and it was so nice to be welcomed in that way. So that was it was amazing. It was awesome. I can't even think of another word. Good morning, Kathy. So today we're going to talk about the difference between knowing something and believing something. So there's this really great poem by Buddha that says, "Do not believe what you have heard. Do not believe in tradition because it was handed down by many generations. Do not believe in anything that has been spoken of many times. Do not believe because the written statement came from some old sage. Do not believe in conjecture. Do not believe in authority or teachers or elders. But after careful observation and analysis, when it agrees with reason and it will benefit one and all, then accept it and live by it." So a lot of people believe things because they were told to believe it, or they were beliefs that were handed down by other people. So we're going to talk about that, but I just want to quickly just read this one more time, this passage, and I just want you to really hear the words that Buddha is saying here. He says, "Do not believe what you have heard. Do not believe in tradition because it was handed down from many generations. Do not believe in anything that has been spoken of many times. Do not believe because the written statements came from some old sage. Do not believe in conjecture. Do not believe in authority or teachers or elders. But after careful observation and analysis, when it agrees with reason and it will benefit one and all, then accept it and live by it." So this is exactly the truth. A lot of us believe things because we were told to believe it. So the key word in this passage is obviously the word believe. But the key word is not that. The key phrase is do not believe. Okay. Everything that you carry around with you, most of that is beliefs that were passed down to you from other people, from other people's fears, from other people's experiences, from other people. So most of those beliefs are passed down to you from other people, right? You didn't actually experience those things, right? Good morning, Arena and Corey. So you didn't actually experience those things. So rather than using the term believe, try shifting to the word knowing. What do you actually know? What do you know to be true about yourself? And it was interesting because last night we were talking about believing and knowing. And then today I looked up and today is the second day of enlightenment is about knowing. You know, people say, I know that this is like, they'll say that I believe this about myself, or I'm going to try to be like this, but they know these things are true about themselves. For instance, if you're an empath, you know, I'm going to try and let my empath out. You can try, do it, right? These words like try and wish and hope, they're nice fluffy words, but they don't actually mean anything. There's no commitment in those words. So it's about knowing and doing, okay? There's a fundamental difference, as Buddha says. There is a fundamental difference between knowing something and knowing about something. Knowing about is a mother term for belief. Is another term for mother. Is another term for belief. So knowing about something is another term for belief. I know about this and I know about that. It doesn't mean that you actually know it to be true. Okay? And is it true for you? It might be true for that person and it might be true for that person, but is it true for you? There's some things that you know. I don't believe that I'm breathing air. I know that I'm breathing air. You know, I don't believe that I need to sleep. I know that I need to sleep. All right? There's some things that you believe and there's some things that you know. So what do you know about yourself to be true? Right? What do you know about yourself to be true? And it should be from your own direct experience, not through the experience of someone else. Okay? In fact, all miracles come from shifting one out of doubt into knowing. Right? It's when we believe something that we want in our lives. So I believe that I need this, or I believe that I need that, or I believe this will, but what do you know? Right? What do you know? And when you start to know what you need, when you start to have that, it's not a belief anymore, it's a knowing. When you know what you need, when you know what you want, when you know what will be in the highest and best of the people in your life and around you, that's when things are going to start to change in your world. Okay? Not when you're carrying around a sack of beliefs that are not yours. Okay? Buddha says, when those things agree with reason, when you know it to be true based on your own observation and experience, and it is beneficial to one and all, only then should you live by it. Okay? You cannot learn anything through the efforts of others. So I use this actual premise, and I'm going to give you guys a challenge, but I use this actual premise a lot when people come to me like with the symptoms of fibro or whatever else they happen to be struggling with. So because if you know, in my clinic, I work a lot with all the symptoms of fibro. Even if it's not full-blown fibro, that's what I work with those symptoms. And they come in and they read things on Google and they're like, and this happens to me, and this is going to happen to me, and this is going to happen to me, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And they believe these things to be true. And when they believe these things to be true, they will manifest and become true. So if something is going to become true because you believe it, then you want to make sure that your beliefs are not beliefs and that they're knowing. Okay? You don't know anything that's going to happen to you. You only know what other people tell you are going to happen to you. All right? That doesn't mean that it is true. You can also know that you're going to be well. You can also know that you have control of your life. You can also know that you have control of your health. You can also know that you have more power than you think you have. Right? These are also things that you can choose to know, to believe to be true, to know to be true. Right? And don't take my word for it. Go do your research. Go find out. If you don't know that energy is running through every fiber of your being and that you have this amazing control over who you are and what happens in your world, then you need to go do some research and not just believe me, but go find out and know it to be true. And when you know the power that you have in you, then things are going to change in your world. Okay? Things are going to change in your world. Good morning, everybody. Bernie, Nana, Carla, Ann, Leggy's Catering, Rob Hewlett, and Amanda. Good morning, Amanda. So you want to know that these things are that these things are true. But you have to know them to be true because you have firsthand experience at it, not because someone told you to believe it. Our parents tell us lots of things. Don't do this or your hand will burn. Don't go there to that, don't talk to those people, or, we get told all kinds of stuff and we believe these things to be true. All right. But, don't wear someone else's fear. Okay. And make it your truth. All right. So here is your challenge. Inventory as many of your beliefs as you can think of. Inventory as many beliefs that you have that you can think of. Like, just sit down and start writing them out. Include such things as your attitude towards religion, capital punishment, discrimination, minority rights, reincarnation, young people, old people, non-traditional medicine, traditional medicine, what happens at death, any cultural biases that you have, and your ability to perform miracles. Write down your beliefs about these things. Okay? And anything else you can think of. Inventory these beliefs. And then be honest about yourself, or be honest to yourself about which beliefs are yours from experience, and which beliefs are there because someone told you to believe it. Right? Which beliefs are really yours that you know to be true, and which ones are yours because someone said so. Okay? Which ones did you experience? You're going to find that a big part of that inventory is going to slide over to the side because you didn't actually experience that. Okay? Expose yourself to the belief systems that are in opposition to those familiar ones. So if someone said this belief is to be true, but it wasn't, you didn't actually experience it, then expose yourself to an opportunity to actually experience that. And maybe experience the opposite and see if the opposite is true. Or if not the opposite, another rendition of it. Right? Expose yourself to something different and see, well, hey, you know what? Maybe that's not so true because this is also true. And I experienced this. Okay, so start to understand, what did you experience, right? And refuse to be seduced into arguments on the basis of ideas that have been pushed upon you by well-meaning people. Some people will get into a debate. They will get into like a hot argument with you and they'll be like, this is how it is, right? And we get ourselves pulled into that and we start saying, well, no, it's like this because someone told me so, right? So you need to not, first of all, get into that. And number two, that's my knowing, but you can decide to do that for yourself if you want. But my knowing is, do not get into that and start to open your mind to possibilities. But even then, experience it. Go and experience what is being discussed. Put yourself in that situation, as long as it's not dangerous. Put yourself into that situation and come up with what's true for you, what you know is true for you. And because you've experienced it, you can stand behind it. Not because my mom told me so, okay? You know it because you know it. You know it because you experienced it. There's things that we know. We know that we breathe. We know that we sleep. We know that we need to eat. We know that we need water. We know these things to be true. The things in your life that are beliefs should also be that firm. They should be that firm that you know those things to be true. And then you will start to notice that things in your life will begin to change for you. All right? Into those knowings. All right? So that's what we're talking. That's what I'm talking about today. So today is about knowing. So take some time. Take on that challenge. Tell me how it works out for you. And tomorrow, we're actually going to talk about leadership. That's the third day of enlightenment, is about leadership. So go have fun and find out some things and get knowing. All right. So get going on your knowing. So I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Here from Indianapolis. I'm in Pendleton in this really cute little loft. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Look at my reflection. In the mirror I see that it's not the person who lives inside of me. Done with all the fear and doubts, the negativity. I'm shedding all the crap right now. I'm stepping in.